Hello everyone, welcome back to Cheat Codes. This is part 13 of our 2D Roguelike series, and today we're going to finish the stats. We're implementing armor, and we're implementing a blast radius for the bullets, so a little bit of AoE. Next episode we're going to finish the abilities, the character selection, all that stuff. We just need the stats to finish that, obviously. We can't have an armor up ability on our tank with no armor stat. Video after that, we're going to do a nice overhaul to graphics. We're going to change up sound a little bit because right now it's buggy with the blast radius. As if multiple enemies die at once, they make a very loud dying sound. So for now, I did mute the game. I just went into my sound manager and put the volume on 0. Hope you guys don't mind. But yeah, I decided to just mute the audio. And yeah, let's get into this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to head into Edit, Project Settings, Physics 2D, and we're going to disable queries hit triggers. So anything like raycasts, all that stuff will not be hitting triggers. I'm just saying that right now. If you put a raycast in your game and it's not detecting a trigger and you're like, oh, why is it not hitting the trigger? That's why. So yeah, if you can have that in your game, this will not really work for you, but let's get into this. So on our enemy, we're also going to change the layer to enemies, which we should have done in the past. Cool, so just select layer, select enemies. If you don't have it, click add layer and make a layer called enemies. And then in your script editor, we're going to do the bullet first. So in here, we're going to make this non-serialized, the damage. We don't want to see that in the editor. Then another non-serialized, and this will be the public float blast radius. Cool. And then we'll need a public layer mask. Let's just call that enemy. Cool. That's what we'll need. And then what we're going to need is in here, we're going to need a big boy statement. So if blast radius is greater than 0.3, we're doing 0.3 because if the blast radius, let's say it's like 0.1, it's obviously not going to damage the enemies because the bullet's actually smaller than that. Cool. So now let's get into this. So we'll make a collider 2D array, which we're going to call enemies to damage. So this is just going to detect all the colliders. And the way we're going to check for colliders is we're going to do physics2d.overlap circle all. So basically, it's essentially going to draw a circle over an area and take all the colliders in that circle and put them in this array. Hope that's as simply put as possible to understand. But yeah, obviously at the bullets position and then the damage radius, the blast radius. So how big are the areas, and then the enemy layer. Cool. And then a for loop, and this will be enemies to damage. Enemies to damage dot length. So the length of the array. So it's going to go through the array, and for each enemy, like so, it's going to do a get component enemy health dot take. Oh no, sorry. Dot take damage. Take damage. Cool. So we're damaging all the enemies in radius. And then we're going to have an else statement where we're just going to put this if statement in there. And yeah, so if the blast radius is there, it's going to do boomies. Otherwise, it's just going to be the normal bullet. That's that done. Now for the easy parts. And our player stats. Below our max health, let's do public float armor stat. Cool. Under our bullet life, let's do public float blast radius stat. Cool. That's that done. Now on our player controller, when he takes damage, let's change this to over here. Health minus equals damage amount divided by, in brackets, 1 plus player stats dot armor. No. Dot armor stat. Cool. So it's just going to take the damage taken and divide it by the armor stat. So if the armor stat is 0.2, he's going to take 20% less damage. Very simple. And under bullet, let's just say under the bullet's damage, we're going to do bullet dot blast radius equals player stat dot blast radius stat. Boom. That is the code done for now. And then what we're going to do is, so now you're going to click on your bullet prefab, and in the enemy layer thingy, select the enemies layer. I already did that. And then Well, that's that really. Now on your player, um, whatever you want the armor to be. I'm gonna have mine at 10% armor, 10% damage reduction, which is 0.1. Cool. Blast radius, let's keep it 0 for now. There's gonna be an error when I press play because obviously it's trying to select a character when there's no character select. So just ignore that. Again, no audio. I turned it off. But as you can see, we shoot. Everything works like normal. Cool. We hit escape. I'm gonna put the blast radius on 1, and now, as you can see, it's making a boom boom. It's doing a boom boom, damaging things in a radius. Very short radius, but a radius nonetheless. Let's put it on 3, something large. And yeah, as you can see, we have AoE. Let me build up a few enemies here. Oh. And yeah, as you can see, AoE works perfectly, really. Bang, 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 bang. But yeah, so obviously it's a little unbalanced. We might change it in the future so it does half damage to other enemies and full damage to the main enemy, like the enemy you hit. But yeah, very cool. Hope you guys like how this works. And now let's do some visual indication. Not a lot. Let's just do a visual indicator. So let's create a 2D object. Let's call it a circle. Wait, no, not call this. Let's do a circle. Call this blast. Blast effect. Whatever. What is our bullet's color? We're just gonna copy it, paste it in there. Beautiful. Cool. And then let's also put the color on like 100 so it's pretty transparent already. Let's put the order in layer just -1 on default so it's nice in the background of everything. Cool. And now we'll have to make an animation for it. So again, it's just going to go in the animation folder. So animation, create, and then graphics, animation, blast, effect. Cool. All we're going to do is we're going to hit oh, whoopsie. No, we're not. We're gonna remove the animator, so remove that component, and then delete the blast effect animations. Cool. And then make another 2D object called this one, blast effect object. Reset its position. Drag this one into there. Very nice. Very cool. And then we're going to go into the animation. Okay, now we're going to make the animation. So in here we're going to do blast effect. Cool. And we're going to record. It's going to go from its base size. So add key. Plop. And it is going to actually go bigger. So let's just say after like 0.3. So it's going to go bigger. So like after 0.3, let's just say 1.1. We get a very pop. And then after 1, let's make it go tiny. So let's make it disappear. And then in here, we're actually going to kill it. So let's put an event there, and let's make an effect for this. So we can close this animation folder now. And then in here, entities, let's just do it in here. C# script, blast, effect. Cool. Head into your, well, wait for Unity to compile for 5 years. That's part of the process. Then open it up in here. Where is our blast effect? Cool. We're going to say public void destroy effect. Cool. Destroy game object. Donezo. That's literally it. And now on our blast effect. Like so. Drag it onto there. On this event, no function. Destroy effect. Cool. That's it done. So hit play. It's going to destroy itself after it does a little animation. Yes. I know. Fantastic. So now let's take this. Ooh, wait. Firstly, we're going to do something else in here too, actually. So on start, we're going to have a non-serialized public float, blast, radius. Cool. And then start, we're going to go transform dot get child 0. So the first child, which is the yellow circle, dot size, dot transform dot scale. Sorry, why am I saying size? Local scale equals Vector3 1 times blast radius. Cool. So we're going to take that effect, make it bigger based on a blast radius. And now we're going to go into a bullet. So, oh, right, no, yeah. What am I talking about? We need it in here. So, public game object blast effect. Cool. And here we're going to say instantiate blast effect transform.position transform.rotation. We need to make it an actual reference. So, game object spawned effect equals, and then we're going to go spawn effect dot get component blast effect dot blast radius equals blast radius. Cool. So if it actually blasts, then yes. So let's see how this looks. It's probably going to look horrible. It's not going to be accurate either. I'll test it a little bit and we'll see. So on a bullet, we just need to drag this blast effect in there. So we take the blast effect object. We're going to put that on entities. Cool. And on a bullet, we're going to drag it into there. There we go. So we're taking a bullet into there. Now let's hope this works. First try. Doubt it will. But let's go on our player and make his blast effect. Let's make it 1, I guess. Cool. And now, alright, so I guess it works. We've got one little part and we need to change that up. It's a little ugly. So let's drag the blast effect back in, go in animation. Let's hit record. Let's actually take this. Let's double the duration. So let's put it on 8 seconds. Take that, put it at the end. And then we're going to actually head into the child. So at the start, we're going to what the? Well, that's interesting. Why can't I? Oh, there it is. Oh, I was clicking on it. Okay, so add key for the color. And then at the end, the color, we're going to change it as the visibility of it to 0. Cool. Stop recording. Go back at the console. Take this. Overrides. Apply all. Delete it. Now hit play. I haven't made the blast radius. Put it on 1. Okay, so now we have an actual little blast radius, as you can see. Yeah, I quite like it. It might be a little weird, a little strange. Let's actually change it up once, just one last time. Sorry. No, that's not it. Blast effect object. Let's change it up one last time. Oh, so this, I want this at the start actually. So we head to the radius and let's actually make the scale a little bigger. 2.5, so it's gonna like make itself go real big for a sec. I'm actually gonna go into the child as well and make the transparency of it. Let's make it 110 so it actually goes a little more visible and then invisible. So let's see how this looks. Shall we? Hit apply all, delete, hit play. Again, I am constantly forgetting to set the blast radius. I'm actually going to set it by default. Let's just put it on 1. Why not? Let's hit play. Cool, that's a cool little effect. Again, it's not amazing. I think it's a little fast still, but obviously mess around with it, whatever you think. Your game, your choice. I think I'll just leave it like this for now, since the game will get really chaotic when there's like hundreds of these bullets. Yeah, I think it looks fine. And the damage seems to actually be accurate, so I think we did an accurate indication. Let's put the blast radius on like 3. So yeah, as you can see, it's a little intensive, but again, we'll do a graphics overhaul soon and we'll change it. But yeah, there's your indication for your bullets. As you can see, it works. Very cool. And yeah, so now I'm going to record the outro. We'll show this off. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next video. So in this episode, we did stats. We made armor, and we did a blast effect, like a radius. Yeah, the armor is percentage based. I'm not going to show it off because it's just you take less damage. It's not really an easy way to show it off. We have hit play. Let's do like the gunner. As you can see when we shoot, there's a little blast effect. It doesn't look amazing, but this is just placeholder. We're gonna have a graphics overhaul soon. But yeah, it's a nice little blast effect. You can see that is AoE, so if I hit an enemy close enough on with the blast effect, it does work properly. We can mess around and make it nice and big. Let's just make it a little bit bigger. So instead of 1, let's do 1.5. If I head into the character select, and I select let's do the tank, so here's a shotgun. If I shoot, you can see it's a very intense explosions. Obviously not balanced at all, and we'll get into the balancing in the future. Yeah, either way, that's just how we're gonna have it, and I hope you guys like it as much as I do. I think it's a very satisfying effect having a blast radius. Again, we can do the gunner, see the nice explosions. Right now, there is also an issue with the graphics at the back. As you can see, we had the walls. It doesn't look proper, but we'll fix that in the graphics overhaul video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye bye.